I'll just go ahead and introduce the chapters, and then if somebody wants to go after me and just be like, hey, here's a similarity we found, and then we can talk about that for a second. Sound good?
Yep.
Sounds good.
All right, so we're talking about chapter 10, which is preparing business reports, and we'll be comparing it to chapter 5 in the online textbook, which is all about writing preparation. One of the similarities we noticed is both of the textbooks start out with kind of asking questions and getting you comfortable with the topic. So yeah.
Another similarity that we noticed was that they both talk about choosing the best approach.
Yeah, and they kind of both tell you to take everything step by step and look at it in that format more than like a big picture format. It makes it a little easier if you break it down. If you look at 5.2 in the online textbook and 10.3, they both have charts that kind of compare the different styles of writing and different types of writing that we're going to be talking about throughout the chapters. The online textbook is a little bit more broad because it's going to be talking about just preparing for writing in the business world in general, while the actual like for-profit textbook is going to be talking about mainly just business reports. So it's a little bit of similarity and difference with both of those going on. They both provide a decent amount of examples. The for-profit textbook definitely is more in-depth. It's about a 50-page chapter, whereas the online one has, I think, like 7 to 10 pages worth maybe. So definitely not as in-depth, but covers more material than the actual for-profit textbook does. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that the for-profit has like more visuals, like how things are supposed to be laid out, and it's also got more charts, along with like the examples that you mentioned.
Yeah, I would say chapter 10 is definitely more business oriented for us so far as all the reports and stuff, all, showing all these charts. Let's see. Oh.
Another thing I noticed too is with the online textbook, every single chapter offers like as the last module, I guess, like the chapter point, whatever the last little bit is, it's additional resources. And it kind of gives you a short little description and then just a hyperlink you can go ahead and click. Whereas if you're looking in the for-profit textbook, it does give examples, but it doesn't give direct websites or anything. Like it gives you information from their websites, obviously, but you can't click on a textbook like you can an online textbook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
Definitely. Yeah, chapter 5 definitely gives like a lot more things you can learn online through just the book, with all the links stuff that's set up. Yeah, you got a lot more examples in chapter 5 than they do in chapter 10. It's definitely more broad.
I do kind of like the way chapter 10 wraps up better than the online textbook because it gives you more examples and like kind of walks you back through everything you've looked over. It has like key terms and review questions you can think about and key concepts. But it also kind of has like, if you look more towards the end of that, it has some exercises you could do, or like even if you're a professor, have your classes do that might be beneficial.
I like the examples they give you of all the reports in chapter 10.
Mm-hmm.
Like the trip report, all that stuff. That's really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Chapter 5 has some of those, but they're not nearly as in-depth.
Yeah.
Like I said, chapter 5 is a little bit more broad just because chapter 10 is focused solely on business reports.
Yeah.
Like chapter 5 even goes into in a little bit more depth in like business ethics and plagiarism and talking about like good sources to use.
I like chapter 10. It just doesn't go in depth enough as chapter 5. That's my thing. Could do a little better.
I think the like actual physical textbook also does a better job at giving real world examples. Like whenever you look at the first like opening page of the textbook, it gives an example of a kid from Georgia Southern talking about like his career and his major. And a couple pages later, it gives another example from a student at University of West Georgia talking about her new job and what it's like to work straight out of college in her field.
Right. Thanks.
Yeah, just after like skimming through both the textbook, like physical textbook and the online one, I think I like our physical textbook better.
I agree with that one. It is a little bit longer, and the online one's definitely more convenient because I could pull that up on my phone if I needed to and look at it.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm gonna be doing a project on something, I definitely want to read as in depth as possible on something.
Right.
Well, does anybody else have anything to add?